people wear pajamas like it's normal clothes and Crocs.
That's a choice. Life is art. Perception is reality. Dress for success is true. Dress how you are. I mean, I would never go to the airport in pajamas and Crocs. I don't wear Crocs. You know, wearing Crocs, it's a lot like, getting head from another man. It's all fun and good until you look down and realize you're gay.
He's crazy.
Sorry, girl.
Welcome back to the Casey Graves podcast. I'm obviously your host, Casey Graves, and we got a special guest in that building. I wrote a little introductory, if that's all right. Basically, before he was tearing it up in the comedy stages, he was already a professional magician by the age of 15. He honed in his craft at the Philadelphia High School for Creative and Performing Arts. Stop me when I'm wrong. Where he majored in drama and laid the foundation for a career that would take him to the stage and the big screen. After high school, he hit the comedy clubs in Philly before making the moves in Los Angeles, where he became a regular at the Comedy Store. That's where he met Sam Kinison and became one of the original Outlaws of Comedy, touring with Kinison for 5 years and performing legendary venues at the Universal Amphitheater. Beyond that, he's doing a lot of things. IMDb, you name it, he's done it. He's got a CVS receipt long of credits for acting. Without further ado, my new friend, Jimmy Shubert.
What's up, kids? How are you? And your grandmother's with us. Your lovely grandmother's with us today.
Oh, the best for last.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, cool. Well, then you take over. I just thought you got off.
And then Grandma, I wrote something for you. Raised a pain in the ass until he was 30. And no, this is and obviously a fan favorite. Grandma's back. We got Grandma in the building. We got Jimmy Shubert. We're hanging out. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing great, man. Doing great.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, my pleasure. I was, I'm in town. I'm doing the Sad Man's Comedy Club this weekend, tonight and Friday. Also, Monday, a movie I was in that just got released. It's on Apple TV. It's called Topper. So people can go look at it. You can rent it for $3.99. You can go. I think you can get it on Amazon as a DVD, believe it or not. But yeah, that movie just came out Monday on the streamers. I think it's on, and so that was cool. It's a real cool movie called Topper. The subject matter it's kind of comedy centric in that the lead is a comedian who had a lot of success, and now he's kind of drinking too much, and he's kind of homeless. He's kind of like, and during this process, he finds out his father's dying, who he didn't have a great relationship with him, and he goes back, and there's this, he's going to give him the house and all this stuff, and so this guy has to correct and confront all these things in his past. And by doing that, he gets himself to a place where, it's a great movie, written and directed by Kevin Mack. There's some amazing performances by two of the leads, which are Mark O'Brien and Amanda Clayton. I mean, it's just, and then, Brian Callen's in it and Eric Griffin.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah. So we play the friends back in Detroit where he comes back to take care of it. So it's a cool movie. It's comedy centric, but it's not the main focus. It's kind of in the background, but it's a cool story. It's great effort. I love, independent movies. It's like, I'm not a crier at movies, but this movie had me when he goes to talk to his dad and there's that confrontation. And it's just, man, it just, wow, it's powerful. I mean, that Mark O'Brien's a great actor, and it's a great project. And everything is a superhero movie now. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on with the movie industry. They kind of seem to have ruined the business from the inside out.
Yeah.
We need a transgender character. This is a mafia movie. Why would we need a
transgender mafia boss?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's where you're at. Well, if the lead's a transgender, we're doing a Don Corleone.
Do a mafia transgender boss if you got one off the road.
No, I don't.
You come to me on the day of my operation. You misjudged my whole crew.
You didn't use my pronouns, and for that, we have to whack you. Gonna find you in bed with a gerbil's head in your bed. A severed gerbil's head. I mean, you know.
He sleeps with the bigots.
He sleeps with the fascists. Meanwhile, you know, we just live it. I mean, when they look back on this time period in American history, it'll be called the dumb ages.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Grandma, you grew up when there were only 2 genders. You had it easy.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
There's 72 genders now. If you can't get lucky in a bar, you got problems. What do you date them? Is that all yous? Are we? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what?
A whole different
How about you
generation.
pay for this meal twice?
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
no, it's just we're just living in a ridiculous time.
Yeah, we are.
Grandma,
Unfortunately.
It's like every time you that's why I don't watch TV. Every time you turn on TV, every commercial's for some kind of you know, this bitch she's tap dancing about her diabetes. I ate
yeah.
why don't you stop? Bitch,
Is that a real commercial?
yeah, she's tap
Yeah,
dancing about her.
Sam Kick and all these other ones. Yeah, it's
she
ridiculous.
goes, I got diabetes and it's easy to see. You know, but now my A13. She's like, well, bitch, you're gonna die. It's diabetes. It's a horrible fucking disease. You're gonna lose teeth.
Keep up to the beat and lose your feet.
You're gonna lose your teeth.
She's enjoying it while she's on TV.
They're gonna cut your foot off. You know, hey, I got diabetes. Should be amputating her leg. Sorry, she's trying to tap dance.
That's the second commercial.
Yeah, this is
when she's sawing it off.
And then if you have side effects from the first, then there's another pill. If you have side effects to the first pill, and then a lawyer comes on and goes, "Have you taken any of these 3 pills? You may be entitled to legal compensation." I mean, what are we doing? What are we living in? How about you just eat right? You know what I mean? And trying to, like, you know, I say this. The thing is, you got to eat your food as medicine now, or take your medicine as food later.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a good point.
You know, it's like. You know, what we're talking a little bit about before we started, but, you know, the certain things, like, you know, I was 260 after the pandemic. I lost 50 pounds. I was doing hot yoga. I was doing, you know, just changed my diet gradually and surely. It's a lifestyle change, so it's just baby steps. Mm-hmm. And now you're, you know, everything they told you, like, I have this. My mantra is, the less I listen to government health advice, the healthier I become.
There you go.
You know, because they tell you, don't eat red meat and don't eat eggs, and salt raises your blood pressure, and none of it's true. None of it's true. I drink a glass of salt water in the morning. It's because they say if you're not drinking salt water, you're dehydrated. You can't just drink a ton of water because it flushes all the minerals out of your system. You have to incrementally do it. And there's a right way to do it. And fasting and getting into when you put your body in a state of apogee and you're just burning calories and stuff. I mean, fasting's been around so long. Jesus fasted, for God's sakes. It's one of those healthy things because they say the best meal that the body has is itself. When the body starts eating itself, you get into 18 hours or 19 hours of fasting, it just eats all the bad shit first. It just eats all the bad shit. And they say the best meal that the body has is itself when you get into that state. So it's interesting.
And you got to work out constantly, stretch constantly.
Well, you got to stretch constantly and you got to work out, but you don't even have to go crazy. I mean, 30 minutes a day. Give me 25 push-ups 3 times a day during your day. You know what I mean? And so, or do some crunches, or get up in the morning and just put your feet up on the wall and get your blood flow going.
Yeah.
You know, it's just little things. You got to get some sunshine. You know, and you got to eat right, man. I mean, I just, you know,
she's we'll say you're in your 80s, early 80s, and she goes to PT once every day, 3 times a week.
I was going 3 times a week. Now it's just once a week. It'll go back to 2 times a week after this month.
Whereas the average person in her 55 and up community,
I love it. I love my PT.
Because you know that's nature's antidepressant. So if you're depressed, you should get to the gym. You got to work out. Your muscles release chemicals in your body. Working out is great because you look good naked, but also it's for your mental well-being more than it is anything else.
I agree.
Don't let anybody get. Dude, I do an hour and a half of hot yoga, an hour 15 minutes of hot yoga. The room's 112 degrees. You're doing these positions. You're stretching the body out. You're putting yourself. And it was just. I did it for like 3 years, and I'm going to get back. But it was just one of those things where you just set you up, man. It's like I slept better. I mean, as I was doing that, I was changing my diet gradually, and now I'm 210. And I never felt better in my life.
Good.
How old are you?
I'm 75.
Oh my God!
You never look it.
You
never look it.
Don't let him fool you.
No. I just say that all the time because people. I used to say I'm younger than I was because we live in
Yeah.
But now I say I'm older. I go, damn,
Yeah,
you
I
look
was
great.
gonna
He
say,
put
you look
stem cells in
terrific.
his coffee. This guy.
God.
Stem cells, Sheila Jat, all that.
Oh, she legit?
Yeah,
That's invented by a black doctor. She legit.
She's legit. No,
Yeah.
it's she's legit. It's the resin from they get it from the Himalayan mountains. It's the resin, but it's very much like Irish sea moss in the fact that it has minerals in it, a lot of minerals.
Yeah.
Sea moss has 92 of the essential
I
minerals.
use it
in
for hangovers.
Yeah, and also if you put
Good.
I put ashwagandha, burdock root, bladderwrack in with one of my shakes, and they're blood cleaners and organ cleaners, and they just clean. You get it organically
Wow.
and put it in your shakes, but it's actually it just kind of cleanses you. I'm all about
You take it once a day?
3 times a week. But I have my shakes. But that's it. My diet is very limited to the A2 raw milk.
What shakes are you using?
What do you mean with shakes?
He makes his own.
You make your own.
Yeah, I make my own.
But you don't put any powder stuff in or anything like that?
Yeah, I do. I put that organic. It's a ground up ashwagandha, burdock root,
okay.
bladderwrack, and also Irish sea moss. So I don't use like they're ground up roots.
Yeah.
I don't use maybe
I just saw it yesterday.
Maybe put a little collagen in. That's what. I put in.
That's good. I just saw it yesterday on one of the cable programs. It was selling the protein drinks with the ashwagandha in it, or whatever it's called.
You're better off making it yourself.
And it looked so good. I mean, it looked like it was really tasty.
Buy them separate, and then you put in your own dosage.
Yeah, you put in your own stuff, but that was like the base.
Yeah, but you know what's funny, dude? You can make your own ketchup. You can make your own mayonnaise. I've done it. It's easy. And I don't use that much mayonnaise anyway, but you took like a gallon of avocado oil with an egg and some white vinegar and some lemon juice and some salt and just take an immersion blender and it just blends it up into a little thing of mayonnaise.
It tastes
Really?
the same.
No, it tastes better. It's better than and has less ingredients in. And if I go through a thing of mayonnaise, it'll take me a month or 2 months to go through that.
And if you let it age, you get drunk off it.
No, yeah.
That old prison wine.
Oh, prison. Yeah.
Rotten tomatoes.
Yeah.
That's fucking hilarious. Well, don't you have your own farm? Didn't you say you had your own chickens or something?
No, but I get my food from the farm. There's a place called Artesian Acres, and they have all the. They say all we feed our animals is water, grass, and sunshine, and everything's like the chickens are soy free and grain free. Lots of times, like when you get a big steak of meat, for the last 45 days they'll finish the meat off with grain, which creates the marbling, which makes the steaks nice and thick.
Of course.
And so. But the eggs and the grain, like my chickens eat crickets, and that's and
Perfect.
Eat, so
Purist.
yeah. But there are those people who go, 70% of the world has insects in their diet. I go, yeah, that's because they don't live in America, you jackass. I mean, your garbage disposal is better than 40% of the people in the free world. Why do they got to eat crickets because they need some protein because there's nothing to eat. You go. I mean, I'm telling you, you go to places like India, the Philippines. I mean, bro, you have this is what drives me insane.
What?
When you go to a country that's like America, you think only people that would criticize America are people who have never been outside of it.
True.
Only people who have never traveled internationally. And you go to some of these places and you go, oh my God. There's a level of poverty there. It just breaks your heart. And it's not really, they could. It's just not. And so the things that everybody takes for granted in this country. You got $1,000 computer in your pocket, you got $300 sneakers, you get this idea, get a job that we could pay your bills and make a living or make a life and all these things. If you pursue a dream and you go after your dream and turn it into a reality, like a guy like Elon Musk or some of these people, you can become, that really only exists. I was in India with Russell Peters and I was doing some shows with him over there and I was talking with his brother Clayton. They were born there and then moved to Toronto. And now Russell Peters is a world famous, huge international comedian that travels the world and also one of the greatest guys in show business. But, you realize his brother goes, if we were here in India, we don't have this life. This doesn't happen like that. It does, so it's in places like
Grandma, tell them the China story. When they want to get you to eat and you're like, I'm just going to eat my protein bars.
Oh, yeah. Well,
she used to travel a lot.
We used to have a travel agent. We were traveling
This
all
was when
the time.
China just had bikes and no cars.
No cars.
Yeah, but I've been to China 3 times.
Yeah.
Beijing, Shanghai, Suzhou, Wuxi, Nanjing.
Exactly. We were
I've been
in the
to the
same
Forbidden
place.
City.
Red China.
I've been to the city. I've been to Shanghai.
Yeah.
They call it the whore of the Orient because it's one of those ships where all the ports and back then was like the boom. But Shanghai is really cool, man, with the skyline.
But the streets, the tenement streets and all that.
well, Tenement Square, forget it. But I mean, the kids coming from school, they were just running all over Tenement Square, and they don't wear any pants. They squat wherever they squat.
Yeah,
That's
I
where
saw
they
a lady
go.
holding a baby over a trash
Yeah,
can.
yeah.
Just dropping a mud
And
biscuit.
I was like,
Welcome
oh
to
my
China.
God, I can't
Yeah.
believe this.
Well, here's what the people don't realize. China's wealth, or like you find there's a lot of, when I was there, and I was there in 2016 or 2017, I was there before the pandemic, and I said it's the most communist capitalist place I've ever seen. There's a lot of millionaires sprouting up, and you have to realize that a lot of these people coming into from these rural areas. You have no idea, and so there's a lot of Chinese people. I mean, there's like 7.1 billion, or the 1 billion, the 0.1. No, is more than we have in our entire country, and we're talking about billions of people. We're talking about millions of people in our country. So it's that there's no space. And but it's fascinating. All the millionaires over there are like these nouveau riche. It's not old money; it's new money. And so you see these, and also you can't do business there because the Chinese steal everything. The Dutch have a saying: it's better to steal a good idea than to come up with a bad one.
They did that to me.
Yeah,
in
but
my business.
Yeah, but they do it all the time. That's what they do. They steal. The guys go over there and they produce their.
That was happening to me.
Yeah, they produce their stuff, and then China steals the technology and starts its own plant.
How did you?
I mean, my buddy had an ice cream truck company, for God's sakes. He brought the Mr. Safety franchise over there, and so he pulls up in his truck, and then a truck pulls up in front of him, and a truck pulls up behind him, and he's like, "Guys, what do you do?
Exactly.
This is a big place." So it's not like you think it is. I mean, even BMW. I was talking to a BMW executive I met over there after one of my shows, and he said, "We don't give the Chinese the new." Technology. We give them technology is like 3 or 4 years old because we know they're going to steal it, but they don't. So we finish everything back in Germany. But it's interesting. And again, you see levels of poverty out there and stuff. Like you don't even know how lucky you are to be in this country. I mean, you should get up every morning and kiss the ground and just go,
I couldn't wait when I was in China. I couldn't wait to get back to USA. I said, we really don't appreciate what we have here at all until you go there.
How did you get robbed in China? You said you got your business taken?
No. We were making cosmetic accessories.
Yeah.
And this one particular one, it was a metal comb with a tortoise handle.
Right.
And we brought it over to them. We brought the artwork, the display, and everything. This is how we wanted it packaged, 12 in a box. So I made him sign something that it's going to be exclusive for us because we were going to pay for the tool.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Well,
good luck.
Yeah. So, okay. So here we are. Had it coming in. Next thing I know, one of my competitors had it. The same exact comb, the same exact teeth, the same exact display. I went absolutely nuts. And we sent them a lawyer's letter. Go try to do something in China.
Yeah, good luck with
Forget
that.
it.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So that's why companies like Apple are coming back. I mean, there's stores over there. You think you're in an Apple store. The people who work there think they're working in an Apple store, and you think you're buying an Apple phone, but it's not an Apple phone.
Yeah.
I actually got your new movie from China. I got a guy. Yeah.
What do you mean with that? That's funny. Yeah. Well, that's yeah, but it's funny because I do closer magic. I still dabble in magic, but a lot of the magicians invent these tricks, and then China companies steal the tricks and produce duplicate versions of it for much cheaper.
What?
I mean, they steal
even magic tricks.
Yeah, they steal everything. That's why I'm saying. People don't realize that when it became, they sent all the free thinkers away. That's where all the artists went to Taiwan. I mean, if you go see live music when you're in China, they ship it in from the Philippines. They don't because there's nobody. I mean, I don't know how it is now. I mean, there's a lot of people. So. But, when I was there, all the bands were Filipino bands that they flew in.
We're talking a decade ago at least?
No, we're talking 2016, 2017, 2018. We're talking before the pandemic. Yeah, so it's not.
Oh, I was talking
and I did 3 tours over there. I did 3 tours over there. I mean, I went to Singapore and Hong Kong. And man, I still
loved Hong Kong.
Yeah, I love Hong Kong. Hong Kong's cool. Hong Kong's
the best.
You've done comedy in China?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No, that's a cross it off the bucket list kind of thing. But I've also been to Afghanistan. I mean, I flew on a military tour. It was a DOD, Department of Defense tour. And I was with Drew Carey, Steve Byrne, Pedro Hernandez, and Dave Mordal. And we were like 5, and we just flew us over under the State Department umbrella. And we went to some of these forward operating bases. I mean, lots of times you're performing on the back of a truck
right.
at like 7:30 in the morning. And they're all sitting there. in this heat under netting with their M16s, and you're telling them jokes. Like, just like Bob Hope
used to do.
Yeah, but the great thing is, I mean, that kind of it's a kind of cool tradition. You know what I mean? When I was little, I used to take my little green army men, and I would line them up in rows, and I would stand in front of them, and tell them jokes, and pretend I was Bob Hope. Kidding.
That's cute. I love it.
That is funny.
No, but you go. I grew up watching that stuff. I thought it was cool. Plus, you get the trip out of it. You get this amazing trip out of it. And I was with Drew Carey, and I got to hang out with Drew and Steve Byrne. Me and Steve Byrne became good buddies. It was kind of cool, but also you feel like your life is so blessed. Sometimes you want to do stuff for other people. It's like I do. Like I've done numerous charity shows over the years and different things like that. And sometimes I feel like I've just had this great. I always feel like obligated to give back a little bit, or if you're available and to do it,
as you should.
Or also spend time helping younger comedians find their voice or kind of find their groove and giving them some good advice. I mean, a lot of people have done it for me. It's always a kind of pay it forward thing. I mean,
I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, but life is nothing of it. But I mean, I got the trip to Afghanistan out of it, bro. We were getting off a chopper. Coming in with an Apache escort. You got the
Drew Carey.
Yeah, and you got the vest on and the helmet on, and you're getting off the chopper. The guy goes, "What are you doing here?" I said, "We're the comedians." He goes, "Yeah, but what are you doing here?" What are you like they sent us to Afghanistan. We were so horrible, and so he goes, "You should have been here this time yesterday. They were shelling us." I said, "That must suck." He goes, "Not really. They're not very good shots. Come on." And we
savage.
And then you go and run and do like this show here and this show here and this show, and then you fly back. And we did like 3 or 4 shows a day. It was just like you don't realize what that does for those guys. I mean,
right.
It's kind of cool. I get more out of it than they did. I was just so impressed. And also, it was like when I was in China, this kid was over there. He was over there in China for 3 months. He was doing an intern at a law firm in China, believe it or not. And he was from Orange County. And he goes, "I was so homesick, and then you guys showed up, and you were freaking hilarious, bro." He goes, "Oh my God, I needed that." But you don't ever, that's the cool stuff. You get this adventure, you meet these great people. Otherwise, who gives a shit, man? I mean,
that's life. You want to enjoy while you can, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been so fortunate. I've been to Israel, I've been to Ireland, I've been all through Germany, Edelweiss, Netherlands, Brussels on these armed forces entertainment tours. I did a tour through. We went to Cuba and Guantanamo Bay, and all through Panama and Honduras and El Salvador and all these little places. And you're doing shows for the military, but I mean, you don't realize how they're everywhere and they do different stuff. Like these guys are like a P-30. These flew these planes were sub hunters, and these P-38 planes could tell if there were submarines, and usually filled with drugs. But yeah, and but also these people have a tough job to do, and you come back and a little slice of America right there in their base, and I'm sure they greatly appreciate it as much as I do. I mean, military and law enforcement always. I've done a gazillion benefits for police officers. This is trust fund because my dad was a cop. My dad was a detective in Philly.
Well, there it is.
So
I could see that, the roughness.
Yeah, so that's I mean, if not, I mean, what I mean, and I've done some, I've been pretty lucky. I've done some TV, done some movies. I've done, my own specials. I've been very fortunate. So I'm.
You're blessed.
Yes, too blessed to be stressed.
Any crazy, because you gave a lot of third world countries out there. Any crazy, like close encounters? Like, they bombed the building next door, but hey, you go on in 5.
We had a close encounter in Korea.
Yeah.
We went to the...
What'd you have, a bowl of the bulgogi? I had a bowl of the bulgogi. Almost missed the hopper.
We went to the fur factory, Shandong Fur Factory.
What was it?
Something wrong.
Something wrong.
Something wrong. Fur factory. We wanted to see, what kind of furs are selling and everything like that. And if there was something really nice, it's so cheap, we were going to buy it.
Yeah.
Well, we all went in, the 6 of us. And all of a sudden, we were looking through the furs, and my eyes started to burn. They were throwing smoke bombs in the furrier because they were having some sort of a problem with them. And the whole thing is filled. I'm crying, I'm screaming. I didn't know where the hell to go. So we all ran out of the store. But that's what they do over there. Is that what you would think?
Those people. No, I'm kidding. Actually, my experiences in South Korea are amazing. First off, they make great suits. I've gotten suits in India. I've gotten suits around the world, and the suits that are made in South Korea are by far the best. The wool quality is better than it is in Hong Kong or India because there's humid cultures, so they don't use that blend of wool that I like. And so this is like a kind of a nice lightweight wool suit. And those suits have lasted me. I went back recently. I was working on a TV show in South Korea. I guess I was a diversity hire. Had to fly in a white guy.
The DEI.
Yeah, I was a DEI hire. But I was doing a program called Drama World, which had like 2 seasons on. But it was cool. It was like, and so I got over there. So I picked up a couple suits. But I'll only get them in Korea now. I mean, I have the guys.
We
in
used to, in Hong Kong, my husband had them made, and I had a few dresses and stuff, shoes made in Hong Kong.
Yeah, they make everything.
So you think it's better in there?
Yeah, and this guy I'm in touch with, he's my buddy, Willie Yoon. He's got all my measurements. And so he he just sent me some. He been following.
You better stay the same weight.
No, he followed me. He follows me on WhatsApp. He goes, "Hey man, you look like you lost some weight." I go, "Yeah, I gotta get remeasured, bro. I can't be getting them suits." But one time's right. If I need a suit, it's like I'll call to Willie. I go, "I like this fabric. Give me this with this," and they usually send them with shirts and ties and all matches.
Yeah,
and it fits you like a glove, and they put your name in it. And it's
the embroidery.
Yeah, and they embroider your initials on JFS.
Yes,
which stands for Jimmy fucking Shubert. By the way, that is my actual middle name.
With the big F in the middle.
Yeah, that's actually my middle name. Now is that your nickname or is that a name an ex-girlfriend gave me? Yeah, so that's cool. But also I've been all over the United States a gazillion times. I mean, all places like Jackson Hole. All over the United States, and I used to travel like dressed in my car and just drove. You were like a trucker guy who's got to drop off a load in Prestonburg. I did it for.
It's basically a state road trucker for sure.
Well, it's like a lot like being on the PGA Tour. You know, there's guys out there that are grinders and grinding and just trying to make the cut and trying to get from the web tour to the other tour to the and the thing of it is like you gotta. It's a lot of work and you got to work on your game and you're responsible for your and then you have a breakthrough moment after you've been playing for like 10 years and you start to get some. It's very much like I compare it. I think as pretty much as a comedian, because everything's solitary. It's not a lonely life, but it's certainly solitary. I mean, you got to learn to be your own best friend.
Yes.
Because you'll find yourself and a lot of guys, people aren't cut out for it. I mean, everybody wants a comedian working the road. You got to be a comedian working the road.
You got to work for sure.
But the travel gets to people. People have families. People have kids. I get that. They don't want to be away from their families. I totally get it.
You got to stay in touch with people. I think that's what keeps me sane. Just if you start losing touch with people and you don't call, and I mean, it's a two-way. The phone works both ways, but it's good to have like that Rolodex of people you can shoot the shit with. And a factory reset. Because if you're doing comedy all the time, you don't want to fucking talk about comedy.
Well, no. The other thing is, a friend of mine who will remain nameless, was doing a lot of work on the boats, and he was just out there for like 46 weeks of the 52. You're just going and traveling, and it just
that's a hard.
Yeah, but it burns you out, and it also affects with your mental well-being. And so for me, it's like, there's times where I go, no, I'm taking a month off. I'm going to go play golf. I'm going to go read some books I wanted to read. I'm going to go go do some hot yoga. I'm going to go back, get back in the gym and just kind of reset your, it's a lot of it's, you got to, they say, you should be kind, but you should be really kind to yourself.
Yes.
And gentle with yourself. It's like, progress, it looks like 100% one day, 50% the next day, 5%, then 30%. I mean, it's a consistency that you're looking for,
Yeah.
And a lot of people, if they don't reset, like you said, a month is pretty good to.
Well, like I just told my friend on the phone, forget about everything. Go eat yourself through Italy. Forget about what's happening here, because you have to do that mentally. Otherwise, you'll get nuts.
Yeah, you'll get chromatically lost. Yeah. You'll get chromatically lost. You need balance and rhythms in your life. And it's to line up with nature, like, get to bed early sometimes, get up and go out to the beach, walk on the beach, ground your feet, get some sunshine, drink some water, eat some really healthy food. I love to cook. I mean, I don't ever hardly eat out. Once in a while I do, but now it's all just, I do very specific things,
Yeah.
Yeah, they say 2 eggs a day, your cognitive decline, reduce your risk of Alzheimer's by 47%.
Wow.
You know why? And they convinced everybody, like, eggs have cholesterol, but they don't raise your cholesterol. But
We talked about this.
Yeah, but your
yes.
body needs cholesterol. They've lied to you. They told everybody. They lied to everybody.
They said cholesterol in
Yeah,
general.
but my grandmother, 330, even your bad cholesterol, you need it to carry the good cholesterol to place in your body where you need it.
Yeah.
It helps your body process the sunlight and turn it into D3. It also works on your joint and your kidneys, your brain. The mass of the human brain, about 75% of the human brain is made up of a substance called myelin. It's like a protective sheath. And that myelin is 100% made up of cholesterol. Your spine and all your nerve endings are sheathed in myelin, and it's 100% made up of cholesterol. Your liver produces 80% of the cholesterol in your body, and it's in every cell membrane in the human body. You know what the most cholesterol dense food in the world is?
What?
It's mother's milk, because babies needed to grow their brains. They needed to grow their brains. That's why a lot of vegan women who don't eat eggs can't have babies, because they don't get the choline, choline from the eggs. You need it. It's an absolute necessary. Also, it has magnesium. It has everything else, and they convinced everybody that it's bad, and they lied. I mean, the two eggs. But I mean and then they put what do you think happens? They put a whole generation of people on statins and cholesterol-lowering medications.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't die from high cholesterol. You die from low to mid-range cholesterol, because you need cholesterol to help you fight disease as well, like cancers and stuff like that. So you absolutely need it. My grandmother, 330 all day long, and lived to 95. I mean, I sound like Robert Kennedy. You have to eat eggs,
it's good for you. I like eggs too.
But that's the also, they lied about red meat. They lied about, it's just, the fluoride in the toothpaste. They lied about all nicotine. Believe it or not, like a nicotine patch, 7 milligram nicotine patch. It shrinks tumors, stops Parkinson's, all kinds of.
Where did you hear this?
Tumor growth. There's a doctor on. What is his name? He's got a redheaded guy with a beard. I'm blanking on it now, but he's a doctor. He's a legitimate doctor.
Send me the link.
Yeah, dude, I'll send you all this stuff. But yeah, nicotine patch right between the shoulder blades.
He's not redheaded. He looks like Spartacus. He's got the big beard.
Yeah. No, he's got a beard. It's a red beard. Like he's
kind of a shaved head.
No. This guy's they're all doctors, but they talk about nicotine, the healing product. Like your vegetables have, like eggplant has nicotine in it. Carrots have nicotine in it.
You're kidding.
Yeah, they've demonized.
And I eat a lot of that.
No,
You're getting buzzed, Grandma.
No,
You're getting buzzed.
they demonized it for years, but that it shrinks a certain kind of tumor in the body, right between the 7 milligrams, right between the shoulder blades, every day.
That's why I'm healthy.
There you go. My grandma's full of nicotine.
Yeah, no, but it's actually, when you start to go down these rabbit holes, and I guess it started, 4 years ago with all the, you gotta get the jab. You start doing your own research. You're out of your fucking mind.
Yeah.
Get a gun to my head to make me take that fucking poison. There's this thing I have called an immune system. And if you let it do what it does, the body heals itself, and the body can heal itself. I mean, even with just energy and attitude. I mean, if you think it's all up here, when you program this thing up here, and you also feed the body. When you feed the body the nutrients it needs, it will heal itself. And if you take time off, and I mean, there are amazing stories out there. There was a story about a 70-year-old drank and smoked his whole freaking life, and they told him he had a freaking tumor. And lots of times these things, these things, they say they're clumps of parasites.
Wow.
Parasites. Most doctors aren't even educated in parasitology, and but that's what the cause of everything is. It's muscular dystrophy. It's this, it's that. If you get parasites in your body, and that's why pumpkin seeds and papaya seeds will kill them. And you can also go on parasite cleanses, which you should do every so often, because you can get them from your pets, cats especially.
They say certain seeds are not good for you, though, right? Like they sit in your pores, in your like they can't digest.
Oh, you're talking about it sits in pockets for the
that's called diverticulitis, because it gets trapped in a pinch. But not everybody has that.
Not everybody has those
You like
sacks.
strawberries? They're diverticulous.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're no, but some
I
guys
shouldn't have laughed
Okay,
that
no.
harder than I did.
No, but,
That was a-
my friend had diverticulitis. He had diverticulitis, and his wife was making him these shakes with the strawberry seeds in it. And he was, she's trying to kill me. I think she put poison in it. My gut's on fire. And he had,
This is the commercial we need. That's why diverticulous is the punchline.
yeah, so they didn't have. So he once he realized he had diverticulitis, And last time I got my colon checked, the guy said just be careful for diverticulitis. So just but you have to. I eat pretty clean. I eat like one meal a day mostly. I have a light breakfast and then one meal a day, and I'm done. That's it. I drink water and coffee. Once in a while, I'll have a vodka soda, but I really don't. I don't ever eat any.
How about tequila? That's my
Well, I got
favorite.
news for you. Yeah, I know I like it, but you don't know which guy you're going to get. 2 shots of tequila, it's fun, Jimmy. 3, 4, 5 shots of tequila. Who let this guy out of his cage?
Let's keep that fun Jimmy in the box for now.
But trust me, bro. I used to tour with kids, and trust me, I don't need. I'm good. I'm totally good. I mean, I'm not like it's funny. It's like I'm a homebody. You used to go run out and do like sets and run all over town and do sets. And now, like I'm going, I'd rather sit at home and write or stuff or work on stuff and then go out and kind of work on it. But yeah, the days are.
You've matured.
Well, I've matured, but also, I get more done at home writing than I do. Like, I don't need to go to open mic. Sometimes I do just to hear myself say it when you're working on a new bit, just to get the words out of your mouth and when you run it a couple times. But yeah, other than that, I just, I got 6 albums out. I got another special coming out. I got another album coming out. I mean, you just keep working and creating and putting your properties out there and creating these alternate streams of income and
That's the way it's done, yeah.
It's so funny that like seeing you now from just like knowing that you were on the road with Sam Kinison it's the paradigm shift in contrast is unreal.
Well, you know what, man? I got to watch the dude's process. I got to see how he created stuff, and I got to watch him work up close and personal. I was always interested in what people's processes were. I mean, that's why when I worked at the Comedy Store as a doorman, you get to watch comics night after night after night after night, and you get to watch these guys. Sometimes you think of a punchline or a tagline, you give it to them, or also we get to watch, and you can learn as much watching a bad comedian as you could a good comedian. You go, what? I studied like what are these 8 things that these guys who are really popular and great, what do they have in common? What are those properties that you could emulate or put into your stand-up? And I studied it, every night for years and read books on it and autobiographies and learned the stories. And I'm fascinated by it, because I get to tour and do these old theaters like that were around in the late 1800s. There's a lot of soul cooties in those places. Everybody played. Lily Langtry, the first lady of theater, had a dressing room that had it's where she performed. It was like Lily Langtry's dressing room, And later on, I took a groupie back there and figure bagged her on the couch. Sorry, Grandma. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the point is, it's just. I was just trying. I'm sorry. The story took a left-hand turn, Grandma. I apologize.
That's all right. I took it well.
Yeah,
See, and you want to meet Tequila Jimmy?
No. But anyway, it's so funny because they couldn't find me. The guys said, "Where's Shubert? Where's Shubert?" And they walked past the dressing room and heard noises and grunts coming. I go, and he goes, "Let's go, Shubert. Well, the bus is leaving." You know what I mean? I go, "All right, I'll be right out." I had a blast. I've been very fortunate and very blessed, and I've had an amazing life. I think about it all the time. You got to be grateful, even for the challenges.
I'm so
and
with you on that.
and for everything. There's a lot of people that, especially the last 3 years, I've lost so many friends of mine that I've known for years that were mentors and best friends, and just people you just go, man, wow.
You know what I was telling Casey about? I can't stand negativity.
Yeah.
Don't give me negative. I'm a positive person. I love people. I love to talk to people.
When's your birthday, Grandma?
May 26th.
Nice. She's a Taurus.
Oh, I'm a Gemini.
Oh, that's right. She's a Gemini.
Yeah, Gemini.
Nice.
I am 2 people.
I'm an Aries with the penis rising. No.
But it's really.
Sure, but what are you doing? It's my grandma.
That's
I'm
okay.
kidding. We're having fun.
Are you kidding?
I know where you stand.
You haven't heard me lately. But anyway, don't let me get
She's
started.
a pistol.
But I have to, and especially where I am now, some of these people get me a little crazy. So I say, listen, we're talking. She goes, oh, and I had this. I said, listen, I don't listen to negativity. If you want to stay with me, you be positive. Otherwise, you're going into the dark room.
Yeah.
She says, what do you mean dark room? I said, I have 2 rooms. I have my happy room and I have my dark room. You don't want to go there because once you're in that dark room, the door closes. You're not in my life anymore. They go, oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, when we sit down, if we go out to dinner, nobody talks about their health. Everybody's got to talk about something positive.
Yeah. Well, because
I can't stand that.
Tell her about your friend, the friend that was like, she's like, yeah, I might die soon. You're like, who cares? We're having
Who
lasagna.
gives a shit?
Yeah,
we
but-
eat lasagna.
Yeah, but you know the thing is, it's like people don't realize. If you realized how much power your words have, or how much power your thoughts have, you wouldn't just say anything or think anything. And the fact of the matter is, they call it spelling when you spell words. Spelling, you're speaking things into existence. I mean, it goes back as like I believe in. Like all those things, you created heaven and earth with spoken where you could choose your existence, like heaven and earth. So like it's like there's drug addicts in Philadelphia. They're all on that trank and they're all like living in the streets and they're all like zombie people. And they chose that existence.
Yeah.
You chose to make decisions that led you to that path, or you can choose this. Mm-hmm. It's like people that are alcoholics go into a program. I could give up that one thing and have everything. Or I can have that one thing and have nothing. And it's and obviously it's an addiction and people battle with it, but you can make that choice. I mean, that's a choice you make.
Yes.
You get up every morning and make a choice to live the best life I have. And it's not going to be easy. I mean, life is the worst.
Do I tell you that?
Yeah. It's the like, you know what it is? It's the life is a sexually transmitted disease. You're like, hey, I was in heaven. I'm here now. What? I got limbs. I got to breathe. What am I doing?
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine? Like, look at you just look at the human body. How fantastic it is. How perfect it is. The phalanges
came from cum.
Yeah. No. We're come from the earth, but the mineral, your wrist, the way everything moves. I mean, if you think about it, it's like a miracle. It's like it really is, and you imagine having a magnificent body, this machine, and they're just going to hand it over to yourself with no manual or no thing to figure it out. That's like and you go, wow, that's you got to figure out these different. You got to figure it out. You got to, because I don't think you really like say, oh, he's a baby, but you're still a baby till you're 20, 21. I mean, you're like a baby adult, and then from 20 to 30, you get this life experience, and then you really don't. I mean, until you figure it out, you have to figure it out. You go, this serves me. This is what. Like, if you could find that one thing, remember what is it, City Slickers and Girls? It's that one thing. And you go, what's that one thing? And they go, if you could figure out what you would do in life for free, or like money wasn't an option, bills are an option. I just love to do this because it feeds my soul and it fills my head with beauty and it makes me happy. And if you can figure out how to do that and make a living doing that, then you are way ahead of the curve. I mean, like, because you see it all the time. You see, it's like, there's entertainment or sports is that kind of queer rung on the socioeconomic ladder where people go from absolute poverty to becoming ridiculously wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, those things are possible, but it's all a mindset. It's all an attitude. And sometimes you kill it and sometimes you're like, I got to kick yourself in the ass. But, it's, I'd rather have those choices, be able to apply them to my life and be able to do it. I mean, I think about this, like sometimes I think about that 9-year-old kid who wanted to be a magician, and it just led me on this wild journey throughout my life that's led me all over the world, and I've made people laugh in all different cultures and different ages and this thing, and I've been able to make a great living doing it, and also fill some other things I want to do, which is movies and TV, and also, and
I like his outlook on everything.
Got a good attitude.
Yeah, but it's like also, it's like, there's these, I listen to this guy named Michael O'Donoghue, and it's like you have these, these unlived lives. Like if I had stayed in Philly and went this way, what would that life be? Well, that life keeps going. It's just an unlived life, but it's still there. Like it's like back in 2017. I was doing I used to do magic, and I stopped for a couple of years, and I was just messing around, and about like the summer of 2017. I said, if I'm good enough as I think I am, and I auditioned for the Magic Castle, which is this place in Hollywood, which is a world class.
I live right behind there.
Yeah. So I auditioned from there. I got passed as a magician member, and I started like doing that. But these your life happens out. That's where growth. Outside your comfort zone is where growth happens. I mean, I was nervous. But if you put yourself in these positions and you do your work and you do your it's like anything. It's like if you want to be a good golfer, you got to love practicing golf. If you want to be a good magician, you got to love practicing magic. If you want to be a good comedian, you got to love practicing and writing and filming. You got to be in love with the process of that as well. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place.
No,
Who gave me this Cuban coffee?
And you got to be happy with yourself too. That's
probably 18 shots of espresso.
Well, if you don't love yourself, you'll never be able to love anybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't pour from it. But you really, but that takes a long time to get to because everybody in life, I don't care who you are, everybody's got a fair amount of trauma and things that But you got to let all that stuff go.
You got to deal with it.
It's so funny. Like people they got this going on. They got all this inner dialogue with all these things that didn't work out in their life. And what if you just went, you know what? I forgive everybody for everything. They did the best they could with what they had.
Yeah.
And I love you so much, and I forgive you completely, including myself. And then there's no more of this up here. So then you can create this. You can create this life that you want. You create this life in your head. You kind of step into this reality if you want. I mean, but I didn't go to college, so I was a voracious reader. I always thought that I was responsible for my own education. I mean, there was weeks I could read 4, 5, 6 books just reading. But it helped me with my art. I mean, the more I'm reading, the more I'm writing, the more and just kind of submerge yourself into the thing you want to do. And after you kind of fully commit to it, immerse yourself in it, and then 10 years ago, I'm like, wow, I'm doing it. I'm doing everything I wanted to do. And that's kind of a cool thing. But that's with anything. I mean, you look at Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman didn't book his first acting gig till he was 50.
5-0.
5-0.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, he was doing Sesame Street and stuff like that, but he didn't do movies. I mean, he was but what I'm saying is there was a woman who was on Desperate Housewives. I think she was 57 years old and she won, or 62, I think she won her first Emmy Award, but she didn't move to Hollywood till she was 50. I mean, the Wright brothers, if you look at them, they never seen an airplane fly.
Wow.
They didn't.
Yeah,
they just, but Albert Einstein said, "Imagination is everything. If it's everything, if you could imagine it, then and you can figure out how to get there. If you could imagine it, And so, I'm sure this is, you read all these books, these things. You deserve this shit. How to unfuck yourself and all these things. And once you do that and get out of your own way, because most people are in their own way. I'm currently listening to The Mountain Is You. Once you conquer your own.
Is that on Audible?
Yeah, it's an Audible. I actually, because I drive a lot and I fly a lot, I'm usually listening to books online. And I usually have one to read. I just love the feel of a book. I don't know. I used to go to the library.
I do too. I like it.
It's not the same as audiobooks. Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, because you get lost in the world. You get lost in that whole world. I was thinking it was Tom Wolfe wrote a book called A Man in Full, which is a thick book. Dude, it was unbelievably well.
Check that out.
Yeah, it's a thick. But I love people when I do magic. People go, "How'd you do that?" And I always write down 937.8, and I go there, and I go, "What's that?" And I go, "That's the Dewey Decimal System, where you can find all the magic books. So go knock yourself out. Go do your work." You know what I mean? How'd you do that? Right here. What's that? That's where all the magic books are in the library under the Dewey Decimal System.
That's hilarious.
Most people wouldn't even know what the Dewey Decimal System is.
China's listening to the podcast, like, write that down.
Who is Dewey Decimal? All right, I'll get banned from.
No, you're okay.
No, I'll get banned from that 10 years from now. He made fun of Chinese guys.
Oh yeah.
That joke you
That's
had, I want it.
Yeah, no, that's.
But what I was going to say is, so I was just thinking about this. First off, yes, it all leads from a positive foundation, and in summary, to
that's
and then two,
foundation
you said you started you wanted to be a magician when you were 9, but I did a little research. You were doing almost like professional magic at 15.
Yeah, I was an accomplished professional.
So it took you 6 years.
Well, because you just. My brother Bobby played drums. My brother Joey played guitar. I had 6 brothers. There's 6 boys in my house.
Damn.
And so you find, the great thing about that is you're it's great because you have 5 best friends, and also everybody's like kind of doing their own thing. You know, you're trying to find their own identity in a thing, and your own. And so it was something I could do. Like I had jobs since I'm 11. I would work, and so I had money. And then my mom would drop my brother off drum practice, my brother off at guitar practice, and they would go, and then we would go up the street to a magic store, and I could buy one magic book or one magic trick, and I could buy a joke book. I got a joke book, the Robert Orban joke books, and I would read them, and I would write stuff, and it just kind of. You know, so I had this idea in my head that I wanted to be like, an entertainer. I was like an actor, like a full balanced. So to have, CAPA, the Creative Performing Arts High School, I mean, you had 3 classes a day teaching how to act and scene study and stage movement and all that stuff. And then you're doing your magic and also working on your stand up and working on your acting. And so, and now I do it all. I act in TV and movies, make some money doing that, and I do some stand up, and magic's really just like a hobby, but I'm kind of a top seeded amateur.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good. I could do it professionally if I wanted to. I just don't know that I want to.
Do you have any off the fly you could maybe show my grandma? You got a magic trick off the top?
We'll do it off the podcast. How about that?
That's fair.
Yeah, because it's like, people, it'll get lost in translation.
Yeah.
But I would do one after I could.
Someone will probably break down the podcast and be like, he was holding it with his other hand.
Right there. Right there. Did you see when he used the magic wiffle dust? Then everything changed.
52 semicolon 23 seconds. He actually had the napkin behind his ear. There's people like that. Like they get autistic with breaking down magic secrets.
You know, the other thing is because you're robbing yourself of the joy. Magic exists. And first off, it's one of the oldest allied art forms in history. I mean, there's hieroglyphs of guys doing the cups and balls trick in the Egyptian. Like that's how old of an art form it was. It goes back to Merlin, and it's such a you look at some of these things, you go, what's so like diabolical. Somebody actually thought about that and put that into a presentation like that. They go, that is amazing. And sometimes magic is somebody just thinking about something longer than anywhere else to get the desired result. But the desired results is that you're trying to convince people that there are moments of magic in your life. It's not to make you feel dumb. It's to make you feel moments of wonder and actually get you in touch with that childlike sense of wonder that we all have. Like when you
that's almost the parallel definition of doing stand-up.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's the exact. But also the other things that I bring into stand-up was the practice, the working, the work ethic of being, working on something, and then finally getting it, and then and that's because you put the work into it. It's like the same with your bits. It's the same with your comedy. It's the same. Look, the guy who wants it most wins. The guy who works the hardest at it. Hey, that's not always true. I mean, there's guys who work hard, and you have to be lucky as well. You have to be in the right place at the right time. You have to be putting yourself in the right place at the right time. Yeah. And but I just love that it's this kind of, but it's applied psychology. It's misdirection. It's the sleight of hand, it's everything, and it's like a one-legged duck. There's a lot going on under the surface to make the top seem normal. You know what I mean? So, but all of it, I like it for different reasons, and I love stand-up. I haven't crossed the streams because it doesn't. We don't get, hey, who wants to see some angry magic? You know what I mean? I mean, like because my stand-up personality is just very excitable.
All your ammo's missing from your guns.
Yeah.
Wonder how I did.
No, I would do it after the shows. I mean, I've always done it after the shows.
Okay.
So it's like you do your stand up, and then afterwards, like if you hang out and just blow people's minds. Yeah. But it's just a little something extra.
That's hilarious. This Magic Castle he was talking about when I lived in L.A. It's off Fairfax, I believe.
It's right there. It's off. It's up north. It's what is the name of that street? It's Fountain.
Fountain.
It's on Fountain, and it's by Orange Blossom, at the top of Orange Blossom and Fountain, right there, like by Sycamore.
I tried it.
There's that, but it has the Magic Castle Hotel. I don't know up there, but that's been around since 1963. And not only is it a magic club with like 5 different venues of people performing, but it's also where you guard the secrets of magic. The library is fascinating.
So they gave me the tour because I wanted to apply for a valet job,
right?
And they were like, if you have, no one can wear jeans, you got to wear slacks. You got to look nice. That was their dress code.
No,
Ryan
but it was
applied.
old school. Men's got to wear a suit, and women got to wear cocktail dresses.
Correct. Exactly. And
It's old school. They won't even let you in.
they don't give a shit who you are. I mean, like you could be big wig, whatever.
Yeah.
They tore me around though, and I saw. And you go downstairs in the different rooms. They have kind of like the Hard Rock, how they like encase like an Elvis guitar or a Jimi Hendrix. They'll have like a Johnny Carson set in a little box.
Well, Johnny Carson was a big magician.
I
And
love
also,
him.
I didn't realize he was quite the singer. I just saw a video clip with Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra.
Oh, now
and
this
Johnny,
is her alley.
I
know, and Johnny
love
Carson.
him.
And Johnny Carson used to tour with them and MC. But Carson could sing.
Wow.
He actually sings with the Rat Pack. I was like, wow.
kidding.
Carson was hilarious. But I mean, like, it's Dean Martin, and these guys are young. Like, this is Sammy Davis Jr. and Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin. Bro, there's nobody cooler than those guys ever in show business. But
You're
that was
right.
an era thing.
The Rat
like,
Pack.
Yeah, but Frank
There'll
Sinatra.
never be another group like that
No,
either.
you know what they say about the Rat Pack? You know, I'd say, what did they say? Oh, yeah. Sammy Davis Jr. wanted to be Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra wanted to be Dean Martin, and Dean Martin wanted to go home and get a glass of milk and go to sleep. I mean, that whole drunk thing he used to do, that was all an act. Until much later in his life, when he lost his son in a plane wreck, he had a little. I think he started drinking because he was just heartbroken. You know, and so, but yeah, those guys do it. Dean Martin, for me, is probably like the coolest guy in show
I
business
loved
ever.
him.
He could sing. He was
I
hilarious.
got one of his
time-
vinyls.
Yeah, his
I
timing
love
was
him.
epic. Yeah, I mean, you know, and then Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr. I mean, dude, and this was happening in the 50s. Like, there was no, like, that Frank Sinatra wouldn't even, if it's, they told Sammy Davis Jr., because then we're not playing here. And they walked out. But I mean, Frank Sinatra was one of those guys. I mean, he was, you know, pretty cool, bro. A level of cool. Like, that whole era to me is so much cool.
Wouldn't you have loved to
They
live
would
that
see him.
era?
She saw him live.
Yeah, I saw
Me
him at the
too.
Sands when Brad Garrett was opening for him, and I was with Sam Kinison, and we had a night off, and we were at the Dunes in Vegas doing like
That's where we were.
yeah, and we had
that's sort of-
that they've blown up since then, but that's where the Comedy Store was. But we had like a 3-week run, and one of the nights we ran over and saw Sinatra, and it was just. Hey, you
There's
know what I mean?
nothing like being there with them. It's just,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
just
you know, you
amazing.
look at those old videos of Vegas. I mean, it was so different. Like, people would go out in suits and ties. It was
That's
like
what we did.
Yeah, they would fly in suits and,
and
ties.
I say my fur jacket and my long gown, and my husband would. Today, you go they're all shorts, bathing suit. I mean,
I actually meant
it's
to.
so different.
I actually meant to bring this up to you. I was going to say, what's your hot take on today's world where you go to an airport and you see people wear pajamas like it's normal clothes and
We used to get
Crocs.
dressed up to travel.
Yeah, well, that's a choice.
Ugh.
But to me, life is art. Everything's art. The way you dress, the way you
Okay.
eat,
But we're
the way
talking
you
about
cook,
years and
Nice
years
the way you
and years
dance.
ago.
No, it's art. It's like your life is this masterpiece, man. Fucking paint it. You want to show up? There's guys who also travel in 3-piece suits. There's people who wear, polished shoes. They have manicured fingers, and that's a choice. That's a choice you make. Impressions are important. Perception is reality. Like, how people perceive you to be is how they look. So if you come across like a schlub dressed in your pajama bottoms, your Crocs, you don't get a second chance to make a first opinion. I mean, there's an old thing. You want to dress for success.
Yes.
Is true. Dress how you are. I mean, everybody. It's not that. I mean, look at Elon Musk. He wears a T-shirt and a suit coat and whatever. But what I'm saying is, it's also. You're right. You can make choices.
Yeah.
I would never go to the airport in pajamas and Crocs. I don't wear Crocs.
I know.
Wearing Crocs. It's a lot like, getting head from another man. It's all fun and good until you look down and realize you're gay. Anyway, the point.
There was points there. There were. He's crazy.
Sorry, Grandma.
He's
Wow.
That was funny.
Anyway, I get it. I just wear comfortable shoes, but I'm not wearing Crocs, bro.
No,
You know what I mean?
right.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's just unless you're on a beach or something, if that's fine, but I'm not wearing them around in life, and that's not, you gotta. look like, it's like going on stage. If you act like nothing you're saying is important, the audience will think that nothing you're saying is important. If you think what you're saying is important, the audience is going to pay attention. I mean, it's just an attitude,
Remember, we just did a show, and I'm not saying the name of the place, but me and Jimmy just did a show where it was a comedy show mixed with
a dog rescue.
A dog rescue.
Yeah.
A dog rescue.
People were adopting dogs, and every time a comedian would go on, then they would get off. Another dog would come on, like an auction off.
Oh,
hey,
God.
do I hear $5? Do I hear $25?
wow.
Do I hear
Yeah.
this and that? The highest bidder goes to. And then you got to go tell your jokes, and A Great Dane just got sold. And boy, were we fighting gravity.
Well,
Oh, my
the
God.
thing is, I just happened to be in town, and our mutual friend, I just was like, yeah, I'll do it. Because it was for animals and stuff. I love dogs. I just can't. I just travel too much. It's not fair to the animals. So, but also I just had the night off. It was close to my house. I thought I'd pop in. I didn't realize I was headlining. I mean, it was. I thought she goes. That's so funny. People like say, "You want to do a guest set?" I go, "Yeah, I'll pop in and do a couple minutes." That's not. No, that's. You asked me if I wanted to do a guest set. You didn't say headlining, and they have to follow. You
tore their head off. Who's got the peanut butter?
Yeah. No, I was just. Yeah, well, you try to make the best of a bad situation. I mean, hey, this joke's just for the dogs. Does the name Pavlov ring a bell? Pavlov? Anybody? Because he did that experiment with the dogs where they ring the bell. Pavlov. Yeah. Anyway.
That was a crazy era.
We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
Well, that's great. I mean, this is, all right, we're going to do.
Cards.
What is it?
So every time I have my grandma on this thing called Life Story, you ask I'll just do 3 questions.
Okay.
And it's like, oh, what was a great childhood moment for you? I'm sure if you have 6 brothers, I'm sure there's something there. I ask her, and then I'll ask you, and then we'll fuck off.
Great.
All right, let's see. Early life. Did we do holiday traditions? We did. I think so.
I don't remember that.
Well, I didn't do it.
No,
Let him do his
that's true. Okay. All right, Jim. This one's for you. Did your family have any holiday traditions growing up?
Yes, as a matter of fact, couple of we would always put the train set underneath the tree, and it was one of those good metal train sets where you had to put the tacking down on the boards. You had to build the snow
Real
on it.
idle sets.
And you would take the lake and you would cut some tin foil out and put the lake in. It was frozen. You put the cotton around it. And you had these
That was really detailed.
And so you're playing, you're playing the Christmas music. You're decorating the tree, and it was always that for me, the October, Thanksgiving and then Christmas, that whole period. That's my favorite time of year.
Yeah.
And just because it's you the Halloween, it's autumn, it's not freezing yet, and then also. Growing up in a big family, I mean, we were making cookies, and the grandmas would come over, and it was just to me, it's that's that's my favorite time of year. But also, my brothers are my best friends. They still are my best friends. We're incredibly close family, and the other thing, my dad would take us we would go to the Pocono Mountains and we go fishing. But all the kids, we go swimming in the lakes, and so we also go deer hunting when we were old enough to. You had to go to gun safety course and go hunting and stuff like that. And so it was it was a great childhood, man. It was really kind of good. And we could, back in those days, you could leave the house as soon as the sun came up, and you didn't come back until the sun was going down. And we would go ride our bikes 17 miles to Churchville Reservoir, and we were fishing all day, and you're riding your bikes back.
Those were the days.
Yeah, but I mean, awesome. What you don't realize is too. This is weird because you don't realize, and now you look back at it and go, "Wow, we didn't realize that we were the last ones." To have that kind of childhood because social media and all this internet stuff has really kind of ruined.
That was the cutoff.
So I think about that sometimes. I go, man, this is just a different time period, So, those were those. I think about those things all the time. Yeah,
I do too. All the family gatherings.
What was our tradition? Just the fishes and the.
No, the same thing like him with the holidays.
Are you Italian?
I'm Irish, but I grew up in an Italian neighborhood. I mean, I know I look like Opie and I sound like Vinny.
Are very close.
I look like Opie and I sound like Vinny. I'll tell you another thing. But it's so funny.
Let me tell you a question.
Yeah, let me tell you a question.
No, the Irish and the
Italians.
Italians were very close.
Yeah.
We had no traditions, though. Really,
Of course.
I
Well,
mean,
holidays. It was the biggest time of the year for everybody. Everybody get
Sit around the table.
sit around the table,
have the
tell
turkey,
stories,
and just bust each other's balls.
Yeah,
and
it
make
was
fun.
just such a fun.
we have.
Don't you remember when Grandpa and all of us?
Back before politics ruined everything, everybody's
he
family
said
got
that. My grandfather said that before he sits down. Tell him at a dinner table,
What?
no politics.
No politics.
He
We
goes,
just talk
he
about
goes,
fun and what's
I'm gonna
happening
tell
in
you
your
guys
life.
something. He goes. If anybody talks about politics, I'm getting up and I'm walking away. Because everyone's made up their. He's
Yeah,
like, I
because
don't want this to
everybody-
ruin a
that-
friendship.
Right. Or
Yeah.
family
Let's put that bullshit
family
aside.
gatherings.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, I believe that. I mean, if you don't get it now, I feel sorry for you. I mean, I'm sorry. There's just but it's also not. I mean, the thing is, they want people fighting with each other. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it's designed to do. You get these whack jobs on the left and the whack jobs on the right, and then there's this people that are like centrists, and they want everybody fighting and disagreeing about things. When really the fact of the matter is if you actually sat down and talked with somebody civilly. Remember civil studies and social studies and,
Yeah.
and all these
Yeah.
things and civics, and you could have these conversations and have these. You could agree to disagree agreeably,
Yes.
but also that requires a level of mental maturity where you can just say whatever you want. That's fine if you feel that way, but we're going to agree to disagree agreeably. But nowadays, it's been so amped up, and I go, you can't even have a freaking discussion. There's a thing called cognitive dissonance, and you see this a lot, where if you confront people with obviously there's something that goes against their beliefs, instead of being like, most people can go, if they look at something, go, that it questions your own viewpoint or the way you feel about stuff, and you go, now instead of admitting that and go, well, maybe it requires a little more thought. Some people sink deeper into their beliefs and goes, you're a liar. That's not true. I heard it on NBC. But like most people, it's so funny. I have a friend from China. He goes, I'm surprised people still watch the news in this country. I said, why? He goes, because we figured out 15 years ago it's all propaganda. And it is all propaganda. Who says that's news? Why is that news? That's, who gives a shit about who J-Lo and Ben Affleck and all that.
Forget
I mean,
it.
like this is not.
That's not politics, but
It's like
people treat it like that.
infotainment. It's not news, and most people don't even. And you realize, especially with all the stuff Doge is uncovering, all this USAID money, you realize that the whole left wing of that political machine was propped up by USAID handouts. I mean, the Politico and Reuters and these news organizations were used to, and you go, what? Where? Like, $200 million for a transgender ballet in Colombia? I'm going, I got news for you.
Sign me up.
Yeah, well, all the money that's been sent to Ukraine. Meanwhile, they ignored the people in Maui. They ignored the people in North Carolina. I mean, at some point, if you have a little sliver of gray matter between your ears, you're going, something just doesn't add up. Like people go, oh, you're a conspiracy. No, I'm a paying attentionist. Okay, I'm a paying attentionist. Cloud seeding and controlling the weather has been around since 1946. You can go see the patents for it. There's patents for cloud seeding and then also the stuff in the sky with the lines. You go, what is that? What are they spraying into the environment? I mean, it's one thing, at least another thing. And child trafficking, bro. You think that's a border crisis? No, they don't care. You know why? Because there's 350,000 kids that are undocumented. They don't have any parents. They're undocumented. What do you think is going to happen to those kids? They're going to be trafficked and sexually trafficked. And anyway, the point is, I'm not saying. Look,
That was one of our holiday traditions, actually, childhood trafficking.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, Filipino. It was like I got socks.
Yeah,
It
but
was
anyway,
like-
I don't believe either side. I'm really kind of if you have to slap a label on me, I'm a libertarian. But anyway, I didn't mean
fuck
so.
with it.
What's our next family
We're good.
tradition?
We got
Sorry, I didn't
two
mean to
more.
take
We
a
got
left-hand
two more.
turn.
We
Go.
didn't have a family tradition though, really. We had my mom's side is my grandfather, her husband, R.I.P. to him. He was from the Bronx, and my dad's side is like Vero Beach rednecks.
Right.
So it's like the dynamic is like a sitcom.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was.
And
It
tell
could have
him-
made a movie about
Tell
it.
him when they thought Grandpa was going to kill my dad. With the what do you think's going on?
With the shoe size.
Yeah. Tell him.
Well, when my daughter Sabrina met, her husband Jimmy, and I said, well, what does he do? He says, he sells fruit. I said, he's a fruit salesman. She says, I guess. She didn't know that he they were big shots in Vero Beach with the groves and the whole business.
Right.
Citrus.
She was very, very low key. My daughter, she didn't know any of that. So John, my husband says, "He's a fruit salesman. You're gonna marry a fruit salesman?" She says, "No, I didn't say I was marrying a fruit salesman." She said, "Okay, well, just make sure he's got a future." Well, we found out otherwise. But when we went up there to meet them for the first time, now that you have to understand, they're very reserved, laid back, and we're from New York, Bronx,
Yeah.
Italians, and and they're talking, and his father and my husband were talking. If you need anything, I'll help you out. I'll take care of it, whatever you want. No, okay, I'll let you know. So in the meantime, so he says to my son-in-law, "So what size shoes you wear, Jimmy?" He says, "A size whatever." "Why do you want to know the size of my shoes?" "No, I just ask." So that's because if you don't take care of my daughter, you could have cement shoes on.
Gosh, hilarious.
So the father thought that. Don't you know why he said that? He says that he's going to kill you. He says, "No, he's not going to."
Because they're all afraid if you're Italian from New York, they think immediately you're the mob. So they're like freaking out.
Yeah, but I grew up in Philly, but my old man had to say, because my dad was a cop, you used to call them Jagoti gangsters. Like a lot of those guys who say like, "Hey, the real guys,
Mhm.
they don't fucking tell you nothing. They don't really know who I am. You know what I could do. They shut the fuck up.
Yep.
They say nothing to you. They're very low key. You wouldn't even know. You'd think he was a fruit salesman. You know what I mean? But I'm serious. The guys, that my man says, that they call them, they're all wannabes. You know what I mean? But the guys, the real guys, he goes, "Doesn't tell you nothing." But my old man, there was a barber shop down in Philly where the cops and the gangsters would go get their hair cut because it was open 24 hours a day.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they would sit there and they would talk to each other. But that was back in the day.
But that was they did it good. I mean, they were all hospitable to each other.
Yeah, but that's exactly right. They knew who they were.
Yeah.
But there was never, they weren't, it's like, you got a job to do.
No
we got
boundaries
a job.
crossed.
Well, we got a job to do. You got a job to do, but this was fun. And he was, "All right, well, we'll see you around. You take care, Bob. We'll see you there." But I mean, my dad worked dad worked major crimes. He worked across the street, like right across the hallway from the OCU, Organized Crime Unit. I mean, he would bring me pictures back to the surveillance pictures of Nicky Scarfo and, and Chicky, Chicky Testa, they call him the Chicken Man, but he got killed in a bomb. Found him in the middle of the street with 400 roofer nails in him. But but I had his rookie card. He got busted for gambling in 1968 before they made him the temporary head. It was like, he got all these little cool things. My dad used to let me listen to conversations with informants.
Yeah, tapes.
Yeah, he gets tapes because this guy. But I did that. And my dad of all TV cops was like Lieutenant Columbo.
Really?
Yeah, he would. Let me ask you a question. And then
I love him.
and then he would start you down this path. He goes, so that was what time was that? And he's just having this conversation, and then he would get to a point, and he'd walk you back through the conversation so all the answers matched. I mean, it was like his thing. Like, you go, hey, he's the guy's catching, murderers, bank robbers, rapists, and you're a kid that took $20 out of his sock drawer to buy some baseball cards. You got I don't know what happened to your $20. I say, you don't know what happened to my $20. But I mean, I felt bad for my dad. He was a detective raising 6 criminals.
That's how it goes.
Well, it's just, but we weren't.
My buddy was selling weed by the pound in college, and his dad was the DEA agent, like the number one DEA agent. And it was right. He was doing it in high school, and he was like, kind of gave him the blueprints to know how to go around it. It was pretty remarkable. I mean, he showed up like it was the biggest fuck you. He'd show up with his dad's old DEA hat on and
That's
just
funny.
sell weed. but that's, and you had baseball cards of fucking ex-murder.
Well, but yeah, it's just interesting, but that's yeah.
The barbershop is hilarious though.
Yeah,
I'm surprised you haven't talked about that.
Well, no, it's just a story that we used to be. It was just like things that are uniquely Philadelphian that like there's in South Philadelphia these restaurants, and they have these little tiny world class restaurants with the marinara sauce and the meatballs, and it's all like go to a saloon.
Yeah.
There's a place called the Saloon down there. It's really cool. But you go in there, there's gangsters in there even to this day. When you could tell, because this guy goes, "No, that guy's he's a real deal." But You know, mess with it. You know, it's South Philly's its own kind of thing. It's
Yeah,
that
it
Rocky,
is.
it's
It
that
is.
Italian market. It's that But those people were like the original, like immigrants. Like there's a lot of Irish in Philadelphia. You like that movie Five?
Departed.
No, that movie. No, it was a 5 points with about the Irish immigrants coming into with the five gangs, five corners. What was it?
5 points.
I don't know.
Martin Scorsese directed it.
Martin Scorsese directed The Irish Mob. It was The Departed.
No. There's one before that where the guy with Leonardo DiCaprio's in it, but so is Daniel Day-Lewis. He plays Big Bill, the Butcher.
Fucking Daniel Day-Lewis, Martin Scorsese. That's all.
That's it.
Day-Lewis, Martin Scorsese movie. Age of Innocence.
No.
But it's about Irish mob.
That's about the Irish immigrants coming to America.
Once Upon a Time.
No.
Either way.
Not
So-
any of those other stories. Just when
so-
they came over.
But it's about I read a great by William Wallace is How the Irish Saved Civilization, but they talked about like during the potato famine, which was engineered by the English. I mean, they starved like 1.5 million people died of starvation, and I mean they jumped on these coffin ships because they had really no choice except to get out and they came to America and they were dirt poor and they lived in dirt. And in fact, a lot of people called them white cargo, because they actually did sell. There was a slave trade when the English took over. It wasn't enough for them to beat up on some indigenous people of the region, but they brought the Irish. The Irish were the first slave. I mean, there's a great story. If you Google the Irish slave trade, I mean, there's 1,300 Irish people slaughtered, Irish men slaughtered in Barbados. Why the fuck would you be in Barbados? They were Irish people because of an uprising, But they came over here and they worked in the fields with the American slaves. And what happened is that is the beginning of class warfare in America when they took the white slaves and let them work inside and kept the black slaves outside. But that is absolutely true. It's amazing that you think about your Irish heritage that they were sent to New Orleans to dig out the canals. At one point, the African slave had more value than the Irish slave. If you go through it and look at real history,
Yeah, you got to really go through that.
it's amazing that any Irish people even survived because coming to this country and the diseases and all those things. I mean, imagine how many millions of people had to come here in order for. You think about it, there's a thing called ancestral mathematics. I don't know if you're familiar with it. But in order for you to exist in this world today, 4,062 people had to meet, fall in love, get married, and have offspring for you to exist over 12 generations. So your mom and dad had a mom and dad and a mom and dad. And then two sets of parents on theirs. And so by the time you calculate it, it's 4,062 people for 12 generations to meet each other, fall in love, have offspring in order for you to exist today. And that is an incredible thing. You go, oh my, I mean, all those stories, all those love stories, all those hardships, all those heartbreaks, all those journeys, all that travel for you to get here, and they don't want you living small. Like I say this all the time, you walk in a room looking at 3,000 people standing behind you because you do. They're your ancestors. They're rooting for you. They're protecting you. They're looking after you. They gave up all this stuff so you could live this way. So don't ever feel small about it. They're looking out for you. They look for, they can't, and it's not even stuff that almost happened. It's stuff that they took you completely, that didn't happen. They look after you. But I believe my grandfather looks after all his boys and looks after even their sons. I believe there's a, it's your lineage. It's all this stuff. And so when you think about that for a minute, how could you fucking be depressed about anything? How could you be fucking have anxiety about anything? Everybody's got their own version of what they believe or what works for them. But for me, that's what you feel it. I felt it over times in my life where people are looking out for you and protecting you from things.
I believe in that.
Yeah, that don't. I mean, so, yeah, but that's a mind-blowing statistic.
Yeah.
And you go, wow. And you think about all those stories. You think about your grandmother, or your great-grandparents, and you go, my Uncle George,
I mean, have you looked in? We've looked into ancestry and found like the cards from Ellis Island from like her father's father.
Yeah. I don't do that ancestry stuff because it's just about collecting your DNA.
No, I'm not talking like spitting and shit. I'm talking about like Literally research.
Doing the research, yeah,
evidence.
because that's how they caught the Golden
That's
State.
23andMe.
But that's how they caught the Golden State Killer. One of the most prolific serial killers in California history. The guy's responsible for 57 murders, uncatchable. He was actually the East Side rapist that then became the Golden State Killer. The guy was an ex-cop, and I think Patton Oswalt's wife had written a book about this to catch this guy. But what you realize is the only reason they got him, and they caught him when he was about 73, is because his cousin spit in the tube, sent it to 23andMe, and they got a hit on the DNA and said, this isn't our killer, but the killer is in this family.
Wow.
And then they looked at the lineage, and they go, it could only be him. And sure enough, they got their guy.
Wow.
And he said, his cousin went to visit him in prison and goes, yeah, sorry about the 23andMe thing. He goes, you idiot. I was the most prolific serial killer in the world. I could have got away with all of it, but you had to find out if you were Little Eastern European. You son of a slave, I will kill you. You know what I mean?
You had to find out if you were 3% sub-Saharan African. You fucking idiot.
Yeah. So
that's so funny.
Yeah, but so that's like, but that's also, but they track all that stuff. I mean, everything they say. It's a smartphone. It's a smart car. You go, it's a surveillance phone. It's a surveillance car. They track you with it. It's all like, sometimes I just like put my phone in the other room. I go, because I got to get to a point where you go, look, my phone is a way for me to keep in touch with the world. Okay, I don't need to know every single thing as soon as it fucking. I mean, does anybody social media? And never before.
Follow us.
Never
My
before.
my other son-in-law.
You're just telling on people.
No, but never before in the history of the world have so many unlived lives been so well
He's so
documented.
nice. You're such a yenta, so nosy. Gossip. You got to know. And he's, what are you doing? Oh, I'm reading about. I can't handle that.
Yeah, be present in the moment. Have a conversation with somebody. Look them in the eye. Talk to them. I think it's Norway or Sweden, but they have a library, but it's not filled with books. It's a human being library. So you can go and check people out and sit with them and have a conversation with them and find out all about their life and all about their thing and all about their family.
It's like a jail cell.
No, it's called a human library, and you go sit there and you kind of, I guess you got to make an appointment and go.
And you talk to people
Yeah,
and just stay there.
That have a different background than you, that are older than you, that have lived a life than you.
What the fuck?
And you can go sit there and talk to them about their life and about everything, and
they just stay in that library.
No.
It's a meetup.
You have to set up appointments.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like anything else, they don't just wait there in the library.
like, that's
Hi, I
weird.
wish somebody would come in and talk to me. Let's get on. I could use a shower.
I had to do that at the old fucking assisted living.
Well,
if I wanted
but
to
you
find
could,
a Vietnam flight.
Yeah, but you could do that too. I mean, that's the way they used to do it.
Man.
I mean, that was back in the old Ireland days that they would go to these pubs. That's how information was traded. They all go and talk and meet socially and have conversations. Even like they talk and have conversations. That's how information spreads. That's how things got. So nowadays, I mean, it's
I can't stand
people
it
just
the way it
staring
is.
at their phones. I mean, I gotta be. It just drives me crazy. I think it's all designed to get you out of your humanness.
Yes.
It's all designed to get you out of you just sit there and just sit on the beach, just watch the waves crash.
No, that's right. You should do that.
You ever just sit there and just lay in the
Everybody's got a
sun
phone
and
in
not
their
think
hand.
about
Why do
anything?
that? I could see it on YouTube.
Yeah, but I when
that's
I play golf, and for me, golf is that. It's that Zen thing.
Yeah.
That Zen thing where I don't care what's going on. The minute you step into a golf course, it all falls off
Side
me
note, we should play sometime.
yeah, but it all falls off me like water off a duck's ass, and then that's all I got to think about is just you walk around the course and you look at everything. What a beautiful day, and it just puts
You're
you
enjoying
in,
life.
and it
Agree.
just puts you in a frame of mind that's
Yeah.
like whether you're golfing good or not, but you shouldn't take that time and just take it all in and breathe in fresh air and get some sunshine.
How crazy is it that your whole life and your whole mentalness, I throw it right in the cart, right in the cubby. I put the towel over it in my phone, and you're hitting balls, talking shit, observing life around you, and you're a whole different, almost like it's a spa day for men, I would say.
Yeah, that's a good point, but also it's also the thing where you're only competing with yourself. How good can I play today? How
That's
good?
true.
And it's all in your. I mean, it's 90% up here. It's 90% in your head, But it's it's also a great metaphor for life. you get in trouble. How do you get out of trouble? You hit your ball. You hit your approach shot. You know, how do you handle challenges? How do you read situations? How do you execute in those situations? It's very, 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 very much a great
Life
metaphor.
is a very play it through sort of.
Yeah, well, you have to
mentality.
because you don't have any other choice. You know, you gotta hey, we're gonna play through.
That's all right. 2 more cards and let's fuck off, huh?
No,
All right. Who did you spend the most time with when you were a kid?
my grandmom's.
There you go.
Me too.
There you go.
See? My grandmother.
Yeah, no, but I mean, yeah, because grandma's, my mom, you know, grandmom's, my grandma, she had like all of us over, and she would teach us how to knit. You know, she would make chicken soup. Where she teach us how to cook.
Meatballs.
Yeah, she would make these cakes. You know, you come down and she would teach
I
you
love
that.
my grandmother.
And you go teach you how to make some cake, and we showed it, and we were all standing around helping.
So important. The grandmothers.
Who did you spend time with growing up?
My grandmother.
You
Yeah.
too? Everyone.
Yeah,
My
because
mother's
that's how
mother.
those family recipes are passed down.
Yeah.
That's how all that thing, you know, they tell you all the stories. Grandmas were the key.
They are the blueprint
Foundation
of life.
of your
Patriarchs,
life.
the patriarchs of the
They say
family.
a mother's always right, but a grandmother is light years ahead of that knowledge. And it
Right.
might even not make sense at first, but you're like,
If you don't
"Holy
get it from
shit."
your mother, you go to your grandmother.
Yeah, but you know, yeah, go ahead. All right, another question. What do you got?
How did your family spend time together when you were young? What was it?
Well, I told you it's the same holidays. It was like
Holidays.
yeah, holidays, but also I was all friends with my brothers. I hang out with my little brother John, or hang out with my brother Joey or Bobby. Or we'd all be on the street playing wire ball or playing football. We would play tackle
Stoop
We'd play football with no pads on down at the golf course.
Wow.
It's like it's I actually grew up in a great neighborhood. Like there was all these extended families. Like
like
your
it.
brother was friends with
that's what
this
we
guy,
did.
so this guy knew you, and they knew who you are, and they would look after you. Like, that's Schubert's little brother. Don't get in any trouble.
Look out for him.
Yeah, but that's the kind of neighborhood I grew up in, and they were all. It was all like that. It was. Yeah, I want to change the thing. I really want to. I like about my childhood. I go. You think about it. You go. I mean, the fact that my parents are still married and still together. I mean, you don't realize what a tremendous advantage that is in life.
How old are they?
Mom's 86, dad's just turned 91. But I mean, also it's like, I remember I went back home. I remember it was about 2 years ago. My mom and dad picked me up at the airport.
Mhm.
Mom goes, "Boy, you just took off when you were 18 and you just never came back." And I said, "Mom, you should be proud of that. I mean, you instilled enough love in me. It gave me enough confidence that I can go after it and make my dreams a reality. And that's a plus for you. That's not a downside.
Yeah,
not that
that's
I ever wanted to
beautiful.
go back. I was just out living my dream.
And if you didn't, you'd never hear the end of it. You'd be the stay-at-home, stay local.
that was never an option for me. I was because I realized I can fall on my face. I can come back if I need to come back. And then when you eliminate failure as an option, you get out there and you just start working harder than everybody else and try to make figure out. I went through a thing where you fall back in love with what you're doing over and over again. You go, why did I start doing this initially? Because I wanted to make people laugh. So anyway, we'll be
that's
right
awesome.
back after these commercial
We
messages.
won't be right back. That's all the time we have. I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Jimmy, thank you guys so much for tuning in. That's all the time we do have today. We're going to go hopefully eat somewhere nice.
Grandma, it was great hanging out with you.
Oh, it was great meeting you.
Grandma Madeline, Jimmy Shubert. You want anything you want to plug or any advice you want to give to a new comic or someone watching you? Anything something that's always.
I think I've already said it.
advice?
Really, I think I've already said
in
it.
summary, I
you've
think.
said it all. I mean, I love what you
You
said.
want to
You know.
plug anything though, like where to follow you?
Oh yeah, go if you can go to Apple TV and rent Topper. Take a look at that. Also, if you're going to be in Pleasantville, New Jersey, or you're going to be in Boca Raton this weekend, I'll be at Sad Man's Comedy Club on Friday and Saturday night. One show each night, 8:00, and then also the same Point Pleasant. We're at Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club, and you can check it out and go there and get tickets. But yeah, that's it.
All right. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for coming on, guys.